About 500 years ago, an unprecedented meteor shower tore through space and formed a huge black hole from which countless monsters came out. Humanity named them evil spirits and they fed on humans, but the humans had no option of fighting back. The survivors established many safety zones with which the war against the evil spirit began. Soon humans extracted a special substance from the evil spirits and injected it into animals, causing them to mutate and become stronger than before. Humans with strong spiritual power could sign contracts with these animals and make them their spirit pets. This created a whole new job, the spirit masters. They became humanity's hope to fight against evil spirits. The story begins in the woods where Zhu Wei along with his friends and their spirit pets were harassing Kaixing and his pet 205. Zhu Wei's spirit pet was a huge blue fox and it kills 205 right in front of Kaixing's eyes. Zhu Wei beats up Kaixing and mocks him that he thinks of himself a spirit master without having a contract, and thinking that he can compete with others with a husky. Kaixing tells him that he will definitely kill him one day. Zhu Wei makes fun of him and tells him that he can kill him in no time. Suddenly a girl shouts from behind to stop it. It was Kaixing's step-elder sister. She tells them to leave him as they have already killed his pet. They lets him go as his sister Ruoxi was their senior. She tells Kaixing to stop doing this as he cannot win against spirit masters, especially Zhu Wei as he belongs to a powerful family. Meanwhile, Kaixing keeps crying holding 205 body. She tells him to stop as it was just a dog. He replies that as they are not the same, she can never understand. Tears coming out of his eyes, he pledges that one day he will become a spirit master stronger than anyone else. He puts 205 on the ground, telling that it can rest in peace now as it won't have to suffer anymore. Since childhood, 205 always stayed with him without any complaints. He tells him that even after being an orphan he never felt alone because of him. He promises to take his revenge. As he touches 205 wound, their blood fuses, and suddenly a projection pops up mustering that the spirit pet creation simulator system has been activated and he can create a spirit pet using it. Kaixing was shocked. It asks him to open the mysterious treasure chest as an initial reward. He opens it and gets a few materials to create a spirit pet. The system asks if he wants to try it on the dying husky. Kaixing asks if he can actually revive him. The system replies with a big yes. The system recommends adding the blue light mass and netherworld fire to increase the attributes of the created spirit pet. Without any hesitation, he puts all the materials into 205 body. 205 levitates in the air and starts glowing up. Its size and physical structure changes. Soon it transforms into an evolved version of 205 that is Cerberus. Then the system asks to select 2 skills for the spirit pet. He picks Nether Fire Strike and Shock. As soon as this completes, he starts brimming with power. He feels like he can now defeat an F-rank spirit all by himself. Then the system asks him to sign a contract with the spirit pet. He remembers how his spiritual power was affected because of an incident when he was 5 for which he never became a spirit master. He wonders if someone like him can actually become a spirit master. The system assures him that it will be successful. So, he bites his finger and puts it on Cerberus's forehead. With a beam of light flashing, the contract becomes successful. Now 205 could communicate with him. He asks 205 if he can turn back into his original form as this form might scare normal people. 205 turns into his small dog look. They both were very happy. Kaixing determines to teach the bullies a lesson who earlier killed 205. As soon as Kaixing enters his house, his stepmother starts shouting at him for his dirty clothes and his messed up look. Kaixing ignores him and keeps walking towards his room. She gets even more pissed off. She threatens him that if he keeps showing his attitude then she will chase him out of the house and make him an orphan as he was before. When Kaixing was 5 years old, he had an accident in which his parents mysteriously disappeared and he became mentally injured. After recovering, he was sent to an orphanage. Next year, 2 couples adopted him, but they already had a daughter. They quickly discovered that his spiritual powers are damaged, so they started hating him. But just for the sake of law, they reluctantly kept him with them. They always treated him like an animal. But now he knew that he don't have to endure anymore. He gives a fierce look to his stepmother and energy exudes from his body. Her mother backs off. Ruoxi stops him. Then before his stepmother could get more angry, his stepfather stops her. He tells her that as soon as he turns 16, they will discard him. But the stepmother doesn't listen and tells him to get out of their house. Kaixing replies that he will gladly do that as he don't want to live there any longer as well. Without any second thoughts, he packs his things and leaves. Ruoxi runs behind him and stops him. She tells him that if he comes back and apologizes to her mom, then she will persuade her to let him stay. Kaixing rejects the offer. Then she gives him some money as he will need it outside. even though she never treated him well, but she also never bullied him like others. So, he takes the money and tells her that he will return it next time. Then he finally leaves the place. Then he goes to an apartment building and rents an apartment. The owner tells him that he will be living with a very pretty girl as well. He tells him that she rarely stays at home and has a bad temper. Also, he warns Kaingsing to never enter the wrong room at night or else she will beat him to death. The next morning, Kaingsing goes to his school and finds Zhu Wai and his friends waiting for him. Zhu Wai compliments his regeneration ability and asks if his pet is already dead, then why is he still coming to school. He stands up and walks towards Kaingsing. He realizes that Kaingsing is now taller than him, so he wonders how he grew so much overnight. Then Zhu Wai raises his hand to make him bow, but Kaingsing stops it, grabs his hand, and pushes him toward the ground. With just a tiny flick, he fractures Zhu Wai's left arm. He starts screaming in pain. Kaingsing tells them that this is just the beginning and they will suffer even more in the future to pay for what they did. With a livid face, Zhu Wai summons his ironback wolf. It was rated 1.5 stars, which was far less than 205 5 stars. He fuses 205 skills with himself and decides to fight the wolf all by himself. The wolf leaps to hunt him. As the wolf attacks, Kaingsing uses his shock ability to freeze it. It gets frozen in the midair and then he kicks it really hard on the belly. The wolf gets knocked out along with Zhu Wai. Zhu Wai's friends could not believe that Kaingsing is actually beating a spirit pet barehanded. The ironback wolf and Zhu Wai gets up to fight again and Kaingsing prepares himself as well, but suddenly a girl intervenes them. She warns Zhu Wai to not summon his pet inside the classroom as it's against the rules. She was Zia Xiaoyu, their class monitor. As Zhu Wai denies to listen to her, now she summons her spirit pet, Huo Huo. Huo Huo was a fire spirit finch bird with a 4-star appraisal. Kaingsing guesses that it must be really strong. The next moment, their teacher Jiang comes in to stop them. She scolds Zia Xiaoyu as she broke the rule even after being the class monitor. Zia Xiaoyu gives her excuses that it was all Zhu Wai's fault as he first summoned his pet. The teacher, however, strikes her stick really hard on the table and lividly orders them to dismiss their pets and go to the infirmary immediately. While leaving, Zhu Wai threatens Kaingsing that he will have to pay for this, and Kaingsing also tells him that the broken wrist is just the beginning. Their teacher, Jiang, was surprised to know that Kaingsing actually fought the ironback wolf with his own strength. While running around the school grounds for punishment, Kaingsing tells Zia Xiaoyu that she didn't have any fault, so she shouldn't get any punishment. Mentioning him brother, she replies that she doesn't mind it as she can't watch Zhu Wai bully him. Earlier, when the teacher was punishing Zia Xiaoyu for her reckless summoning of the fire spirit finch, Kaingsing requests the teacher to give him the same punishment as well, as it was actually his fault. The teacher agrees as he insisted so much. Zia Xiaoyu and Kaingsing knew each other from the orphanage. Zia Xiaoyu's spiritual powers were really strong, for which the vice president of the Jiangnan Royal Management Association adopted her, and with the large amount of resources given to her, she became one of the strongest spirit masters in her generation. Zia Xiaoyu stops running suddenly. She asks him if the news of 205 being dead is true. She tells him that Zhu Wai is bullying him due to her, as he is jealous of their relationship and as she has rejected his confession before. She starts crying and tells him that she had no idea that Zhu Wai will ever go to such an extent and kill 205. Patting her, Kaingsing tells her to stop crying as it's all Zhu Wai's fault. He also tells that 205 is alive, and with a swift hand movement in the air he opens a portal from which 205 jumps out. 205 blushes and gives a perverted smile to Kaingsing. He feels embarrassed. And finally, Zia Xiaoyu learns that he is now a spirit master. As he was explaining her the whole story, Zhu Wai's blood was boiling watching them. Now he determines to kill him. When Kaingsing returns to his apartment, he finds the door unlocked. He enters inside and sees that a girl is showering inside. He blushes and wonders if it's the same pretty girl the landlord mentioned. Then all of a sudden, she comes out naked, and as soon as she sees him, she disappears instantly. Then she appears again, and with clothes this time. Kaingsing tries to explain to her that it was an accident, but the girl rushes towards him with a small dagger and attacks him. He dodges it, which was shocking for the girl. She keeps attacking while Kaingsing keeps trying to convince her. Kaingsing realizes that he will have to stop her to talk, so he grabs her both hands and tries to calm her down. While doing this, they slips and Kaingsing falls on top of her. There was an awkward silence for a moment, and then she shouts at him to get off her. Both of them stands up and Kaingsing asks her if she will use the knife again. With a yes, she kicks at his testicles, but Kaingsing uses his shock ability on time. It was a really close call. Being frozen, she wonders how can he control her body like that. Then Kaingsing again tells her that it was an accident and it was her fault as well as she came out of the shower naked recklessly. She turns around and leaves, telling him that she will kill him if he doesn't forget what happened today. The next day at Mercenary City, he inquires about the requirements to take a mission at a counter. The counter lady tells him that he will need a mercenary badge. Kaingsing asks her how can he get one. She explains to him that as long as he joins a mercenary group officially registered with the Mercenary Association, he will be given a badge automatically. She also tells him that to join a group, he needs to go to the recruitment plaza where many groups are looking for teammates. He thanks her for all the information. Some other dudes notices how polite he is. One of them stands up and starts going towards the counter. When Kaingsing passes him, he feels amazed looking at his height. He breaks the queue and straight reaches the counter. Some people gets pissed but others explains to them that he is Qiwu of the Iron Blood mercenary group and is ranked first in the city. He was an E rank. He rudely asks the counter lady if there is any mission for him. As Qiwu breaks the queue and reaches the counter lady tremblingly tells him to follow the rules. He gets mad and asks her what right she has to say that to him when no one else in the line couldn't. She repeats the same request again but this time Qiwu raises his hands, intending to beat her. As he attacks her, Kaingsing grabs his hand to stop him. Qiwu asks him why is he butting in and who in the world is he. Kaingsing answers him that he is just an ordinary student who dislikes bullying. Qiwu tries but couldn't break free. He wonders how an ordinary student can have such strength. People around them thinks of the same thing as well. Everybody was amazed that he was trying to take a fight with Qiwu. Qiwu knew that it will be shameful for him if he loses in front of all these people. So he tries to punch Kaingsing using his other hand but using the correct timing, position and action. Kaingsing very smoothly tosses him up and slams him on the ground. No one there could believe their eyes. Qiwu now gets furious. He stands up and summons his pet, the Berserk Bear. As soon as Kaingsing sees that it's a 2-star E3 pet, he knew that it won't be easy to deal with. The bear uses his shock roar which stuns everyone else but Kaingsing finds it cute. Qiwu remains shocked to see this. Then Kaingsing raises his right hand and summons 205. Everyone was guessing that his pet must be as vicious as him but they remain speechless when a husky jumps in front of them and starts stretching. Then everyone makes fun of it. Qiwu also tells him that he thought he is a kid from some well-known family with the necessary education and resources but it seems like he was overthinking. He orders his Berserk Bear, Xingda, to tear 205 apart. The bear leaps to attack it. Kaingsing also tells 205 to show what he has got. 205 jumps to dodge Xingda's attack and tries to attack him back. Everyone thinks it's a joke but 205 transforms into his Cerberus form in the mid-air. Qiwu starts sweating when he saw this. The breathtaking fight between 205 and Xingda begins. Xingda tries to strike 205 using its claws but 205 dodges and uses his shock ability. As the bear freezes, 205 strikes his eyes with its claws. Qiwu instructs Xingda to keep attacking and to use brutal impact. From the other side, Kaingsing tells 205 to use Nether Fire Strike. 205 uses his technique first but Xingda withstands it and strikes him with brutal impact technique. 205 sustains some major injuries. Kaingsing blames himself for this. He realizes that he shouldn't have launched a frontal attack on a pure strength type spirit pet. He observes Xingda and notices that even though it resisted the Nether Fire Strike, its body and soul still have suffered heavy damage. He commands 205 to go back and rest. 205 asks him how will he fight without him. Kaingsing tells him that he has a solution. Thus, 205 disappears. Qiwu calls this a stupid move. Responding to him, Kaingsing tells him that someone who makes their pet fight even after an injury doesn't have any right to call themselves a spirit master. Qiwu again calls it childish. He tells him that during a mission when he can't even make sure that he is safe, then how can he guarantee his pet's safety? Then he orders Xingda to kill him. As soon as Xingda raises his claws, a man tells them to stop it. He asks Qiwu why is he not following the rules of the mercenary city to not fight outside. The people started whispering. He was the city lord's son. Everyone usually calls him young master. The people there thought that he has come to take care of the Iron Blood mercenary group. Qiwu tries to explain to him that it's not his fault as Kaingsing insulted him. With a smile, he tells him to not get involved in the matter for the sake of the Iron Blood mercenary group. The young master tells him to shut up as he is not qualified to speak for the Iron Blood mercenary group. Qiwu frustrates and turns around and tells that he will forgive Kaingsing today as the young master is present but if he sees him ever again in the city then he will kill him. He discharges Xingda and leaves. Introducing himself as Sutila, the young master asks Kaingsing if he is alright. Then in return, Kaingsing thanks him for coming and relieving the situation. Sutila tells him that as Kaingsing was the one helping his staff, he shouldn't thank someone else. He then appreciates that Kaingsing managed to injure Kuiwu's berserk bear. Then he also warns him that Kuiwu is a vindictive person, so he will not let him go easily. Finally, after all this, Kaingsing reaches the recruitment plaza. There, lots of groups were recruiting. He finds some of them very peculiar. Then he finds the girl from his apartment sitting on a chair in a place. Kaingsing feels amazed that she looks so different after putting on clothes. When Kaingsing spots the girl from his apartment, he approaches her and tells her that fate made them meet again. He takes a proper look at her and quickly turns away. She was wearing a very tight dress and her breasts were half revealed. Kaingsing wonders why she always wears such revealing clothes. She asks him why was he there. She then grabs him by his collar and warns him to forget last night's incident or else she will kill him. Kaingsing actually came there to apologize, but he cancels the plan as he knew she wouldn't listen. A tall old man suddenly shows up from behind and calling her Kinghin asks her if he is a friend. Kinghin denies. Then coming close he asks Kaingsing to join the Carefree Mercenary Group. He introduces himself as Yizaoyao, the leader of Carefree Mercenary Group and the father of Kinghin. Turning away lividly, she tells her father that she doesn't know him. Then Yizaoyao asks him his name. As soon as he hears that his surname is also Yi, his eyes start sparkling. He becomes very excited and tells him that he must join the group now that their surnames are the same. Kaingsing tries to explain him that even though it sounds similar, but their meanings are different. But Yizaoyao didn't care. Then he declares Kaingsing an official member of the group. Kaingsing tells him that he never even asked for that, but Yizaoyao tells him that he should join as he is looking for a group and as Kinghin is in the group. He tells Kaingsing that he will be given special privileges if he joins the group. Kinghin bonks her father on the head angrily. Kaingsing asks him if he is okay, but before he could notice, he puts a Carefree Group badge around his neck. He also quickly registers his name into the system and takes him to the headquarters of the Carefree Mercenary Group. When they reach there, Kaingsing asks him why there isn't anyone else around. Kinghin comes from behind, telling him that it's because there are only 3 of them in the group. Kaingsing feels cheated. He wonders if they are even allowed to take missions. Then cheering him up, the leader tells him that there's a 2-star mission right now. So, he along with Kinghin should try it out, but before Kaingsing could feel a little better, Kinghin tells that she won't do it as she can do the mission by herself. She calls him a burden. Zaioyao apologizes for her rude behavior, but Kaingsing tells him that he is even more excited as he will get to see Kinghin's outstanding skills. Finally, Kinghin agrees but tells him that she will not take responsibility for his suffering on the mission. Then they both leaves for the mission in a vehicle and she explains him that their mission is to eliminate an great evil spirit that has appeared on the highways of Jiangnan City. As it was a ghost-type spirit, it could not be detected by any device. As they were discussing all this, suddenly a very beautiful fairy-like woman appears levitating in front of them. They were both astonished, but suddenly she disappears. The fairies continues to appear. Both Kaingsing and Kinghin were lost in the moment. 205 somehow communicates with Kaingsing and wakes him up. Kaingsing comes back to his senses and sees a rock wall in front of them. Kinghin was still in the dream and she was stepping on the gas pedal. He tries to wake her up, but she didn't wake up. 205 suggests him to use shock on her and Kaingsing uses it as well. Kinghin also returns back to her senses. She realizes that they are heading towards a rock, so she presses the brakes with full force. As Kaingsing was not wearing seatbelt, he flies away, breaking the front window and lands badly on the rocky ground. Kinghin rushes towards him and asks him if he is good. She becomes really worried. Kaingsing's head was bleeding, but he tells her that just as Uncle Yi said, she has a soft heart from the inside. Then she drops him on the ground and tells him that she was only making sure that he is dead so that she can feed him to the evil spirits. Then she looks around wondering where they are now. Kaingsing stands up and tells her that as they were trapped in an illusion, it must have been the work of that ghost-type evil spirit. Then she asks him how did she escape from it. He replies that it's with the help of his pet, 205. He opens the portal and 205 looks at her and thinks that his master has found her for him. He jumps out of the portal straight towards her. King Han gives 205 a spin kick which smacks him on the rocks. Then Kaingsing explains to her that 205 is a demon-type spirit and he is good against ghost-type spirits. King Han looks at 205 and tells that he looks more like a silly type. Then she reminds Kaingsing that they must find the ghost spirit before it gets dark. Kaingsing asks 205 if he can track down the evil spirit using his nose. 205 comes forward and starts barking at nothing. Kaingsing tells her to be careful as the spirit might be somewhere nearby. King Han summons her spirit pet. A huge black panther appears and it has 2.5 stars. Kaixing and 205 both were shocked to see it. Then King Han explains that as their opponent is a ghost type so they can't see it and both of their spirit pets are good counters for it. So, there's no way that the evil spirit will attack them head-on. Kaixing tells 205 to get ready. 205 transforms into his Cerberus form. Now King Han was shocked. She wonders if it's the same dog as earlier. Kaixing asks 205 if he can locate the evil spirit. 205 says yes and then Kaixing tells him to use nether fire on it. 205 uses it and then finally they could see the ghost. She was a level E7 resentful ghost with a purple aura eluding from her body. She starts screaming so loud that everyone had to cover their ears. King Han tells her pet, Blackie, to use Heaven's Wrath. Blackie strikes the spirit with it and she turns into dust. Kaixing was glad that she stopped screaming. Suddenly 205 tells him to look behind. King Han attacks and injures him a little with her dagger. Even after that Kaixing tells 205 to not do anything rashly. He realizes that she has been affected by the evil spirit's aura of resentment. So, her resentment against him was being amplified. King Han goes berserk and attacks him with full force. She was fast but disorganized. Kaixing knew that he cannot use shock as she was too unstable. So, he decides to get rid of the evil spirit instead. He commands 205 to find and eliminate it. Within no time 205 spots it and attacks it with nether fire. Kaixing also tells Blackie to help 205 to make his master free. They both combines nether fire and Heaven's Wrath and strikes it but it had no effect on the evil spirit. Then Kaixing remembers that its weakness is in the center of its eyebrows. So, he orders 205 and Blackie to target it. Meanwhile, King Han lands another lethal blow on him. Kaixing wonders if he can survive any longer. He pities himself for dying at the hands of a woman. While King Han was trying to kill Kaixing, he remembers what Kui Wu told him. He realizes that it's really a place where he can't even be sure of his own safety. He thinks he is going to die but all of a sudden Blackie and 205 uses a very powerful combination strike and kills the evil spirit and King Han comes back to her senses. She was befuddled. And then Kaixing faints. When he wakes up King Han was applying bandages to his injuries. He flirts with her a little, but she says she only bandaged him because she is responsible for his injuries. 205 shows him the soul pearl he got from the evil spirit. He recognizes it. King Han tells him that she didn't expect him to know about Soul Pearl and Spirit Pet Advancement. With a smile, he replies to her that he is an excellent student in school. Then she tells him that 205 should eat it as he was the one to eliminate the spirit. Thus, 205 swallows the Soul Pearl. As soon as 205 eats it his level advances to E3. The system rewards him with a mysterious treasure chest for that. He opens it and receives a blue water cube which was a 5-star material, and has the power to control the space along with a 3-star Empress Scepter and a 4-star Ancient Pillar. He was very happy that he got a lot of things this time. King Han asks him what he is thinking. He tells her that he is really happy that 205 leveled up. Now he realizes that he is the only one who can see the Spirit Pet Creation Simulator. They returns to their headquarters and tells their leader. He was very happy to know that they have completed the mission. He tells them that he will give them a commission fee but King Han tells him to give her share to Kaixing as he was the one to defeat the evil spirit. Xiao Yi appreciates her modesty. He decides to do as she said and takes out the bundle of notes. Kaixing's heart starts dancing when he thinks that he will get it all but instead Xiao Yi gives him only 1,000 combining their commissions. Kaixing feels cheated again and asks him how a 2-star mission is worth so little. But he gives excuses that the group need operating funds too. Before Kaixing could talk to him more, he leaves talking to someone on the phone which actually was a remote control. A few days later when there was final exams going on in Kaixing's school, Miss Zhang explains them that they can summon their spirit pets for quality check and those who don't have a spirit pet will have their soul talent checked. Laughing from behind, Zhu Wei mocks him that he neither have a pet nor soul talent. Giving him a very cold smile, Kaixing replies that he has just recovered from his broken wrist and now again looking for a fight. He asks Zhu Wei to bet on whether he will pass the exam or not.